Hello everyone, welcome back again. It's me, George Sun, the founder of Sun Endowment, and now we're gonna go into class four. And I think this one is one of my personally favorite ones because now I want to not to start off you, let's start you off by a question. And this is like the last class. I'm gonna tell you something. Branding is everything. When I say everything, I mean everything, and you'll see why. So why do we need to brand ourselves? So no matter how good the product is, without branding is nothing. Let's think of Michelin restaurants, right? Michelin three-star restaurants. One of them is opened in, let's say, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, where nobody goes. Without the Michelin three-star recognition brand, no one would know them. And I'll give you personal experience of why we need to brand ourselves. So I've just finished my college application process. Since I didn't brand myself like the right ways, I got rejected by almost every single top colleges in the United States just because of branding and tactical errors. And that just shows how great of an impact branding can have on your business as well, because it makes distinction from the competition. I didn't brand myself correctly, so to them, I'm just, you know, so like any other, Chinese kids that has a good grade. That didn't make any distinction from my competition. That's why I have failed. So I don't want you guys to fail. And in time, if you have branding, it creates customer loyalty. You have seen this in real life that people prefer to buy one brand over the others. For example, in luxury brands, some people might prefer, Louis Vuitton over, Yves Saint Laurent. And that's just different branding, just targets different people. Here are some branding methods after my failure I collected myself. You have to tell a story. You want to connect people together. In my entrepreneurship class, my teacher have shown me I think it's called the red ink pants. And I think the whole message is sent out is just creating a gene that is just for working females. And that just connects people together because there's nothing targeted at that. And from the owner's story, it connected people together. And they stood out from the rest because there's no one who did that. And if they have done that, they haven't branded themselves in that way. So that's why they have stood out from others. And people, of course, appreciate uniqueness because everybody wants to stand out. And everybody look at them and be like, oh, okay, so you're unique. That story it has to be coming from the heart because if it's not authentic, you cannot keep the branding for a long time. And to me, I think the best branders came from the fashion industry. You see, a lot of people think Gucci, Louis Vuitton are like stupid in branding because they're simple, but they're extremely efficient. You see how they design their things so different from others, and they put their logos all over the place. It's so simple, and they have their like own specific like traditional color scheme. And they're so efficient though. Everybody look at them will think, oh, you're pretty well off. And that's what a lot of people needs. It's a type of luxury and standoffish because because the pricing already cuts a lot of people off. And that's a sense of branding as well. And now we need to talk about brand positioning, and that is the first step to branding someone. So you have to imagine how is it being portrayed in the customer's mind. So logo is extremely important for consumer goods. When you think of Gucci, you know that there's like the interlocking G. When you think of Louis Vuitton, you know that it's the LV sign like that. And you have to understand your target audience. You have to know what they're thinking. You'd be like, oh, what do they need the most? And what is something I can do to my brand that's most appeal to them? Because you can't police everybody. Offer what your competition couldn't, no matter it's a pricing difference, experience difference, just offer something different and emphasize that. And because those are the benefits that makes you stand out from the rest. Let's say you might not be the best at pricing, you might be have a higher, higher price than some of your competitions, but you offer the best customer experience. So don't talk about price. Talk about what you can offer. So brand promise is the next step. So you have to commit to deliver to every customer because you have to keep the consistency with every customer. That's why how you build your reputation. A lot of people say to me that, 10 praises is good, but one bad comment can destruct all 10 praises. So it has to reflect in all part of your business for the promise, from the advertisement to employee culture to your service. You got to have authenticity. I cannot strengthen this enough and keep up with the promising because if you don't keep up, that's when the destruction gonna come to a brand because people say, oh, I thought you branded it this way and this is fake, so I'll never come back again because customers don't like being lied to. And again, consistent is a key element in successful promise. So consistency, this means time. It has to be able to withstand time and also keeping up your promise. The core cannot change. You can definitely be adapted, but the core doesn't need to change. Brand equity and how to build it. This is the next step after the promise. What does brand equity mean? It means the value of a brand. So it have a lot of benefits. For example, reduce the price sensitivity, build loyalty, and stuff like that. You have to, in order to build it, you have to provide exceptional products, and you need to have consistent communication with customers to build that. Because then you create trust by constantly delivering that promise, and those exceptional products makes your brand better and bigger than before. After you develop the equity, you now need to manage it. And this is sometimes arguably the hardest part. Because managing reputation is harder than building a reputation. Because sometimes it can be extremely destructive because you are doomed to face hardship in your brand. And how do you get over that? Your PR team is extremely important. And you have to improve in popularity as well. You have to show the development of your brand, the progress in recent years, keeping that core, but you also have to show the progress to how far you have come. Also, you have to, because the societal norm has changed rapidly in the last couple of years, you have to adapt to that. Where some things might be okay 10 years ago, it might not be okay now. So you have to stay on the trend, stay on the tide in order to keep yourself relevant, keep your brand relevant. And assess your brand regularly, which means just think to yourself regularly. Is this brand out of date? If so, how can I change it? So thank you so much for participating in this lesson and believe you can be successful because I do believe in you. And thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next class. And the class of, definition of the business dictionary is in development. And I hope to publish that soon as well. See you guys in the next class.